Hey everybody, country songs with bass. Now is that unheard of? Not at all. This list of country songs would not be what they are without these bass lines. As in a lot of country, most of country music is the backbone to the country tune, and it gets underrated or underestimated a lot. The bass lines that are in these country songs, people take them for granted, but they are moving bass lines that really drive these songs, and almost most of country songs have these driving bass lines. So if you're an aspiring bassist, get out your axe and learn these songs and add some country to your style. You'll be glad you did. Okay? So these bass lines in country are no joke, and these 10 that I have listed today are definitely no joke. Some of them are a little easier than others, but they are by no means any less a bass line than any of the other ones. They are definitely, like I said, the backbone to country music, so definitely stick around. I've got the list is coming up, so hang on. Alright, so like I said, welcome back, and let's get this list on the road. You'll be glad. You want to write these down. You'll be glad you know these songs. You sit down and learn these songs. It's just going to make your playing that much better, give you that much more color. So the first one's going to be Dwight Yoakam's "Fast as You Are." That bass line, pretty much it starts off, they're playing it on guitar, but with the bass line as the idea, and then when the bass comes in, it just pushes that song the entire time. And it backs out a little bit in the chorus, but for the most part, that bass line is that song. You'll come out of that song humming that bass line. So it's that catchy, it's that good of a bass line, and that's what you want. When you're writing your bass lines, if you can have people come out humming the bass line as opposed to the rest of the song, you've done your work for sure. Okay, so Dwight Yoakam's "Fast as You Are." That's not in no particular order here. That's a good one to know. So the next one's going to be Kenny Chesney's "How Forever Feels." Now this song is pretty good. The bass line, it's a real cool. It's not your typical country bass line at all. It's more of a melodic bass line, and it's a great one as well. Learn that bass line, and you'll be glad you did also with that one. Now this one is traditional country, and it's Merle Haggard's "Working Man Blues." Now that bass line, it's definitely, it's not too intricate, but it pushes that song along, and it wouldn't be as fun as it is without that bass line in it. So you want to definitely learn that one too. And like I say, all 10 of these you want to learn. Take 10 days and learn every day. Spend the time on one of these songs, and you'll be glad you did. Like I said, they're not easy bass lines at all. They're moving, and they're very good. So, and this one, you'd be surprised who's actually playing the bass on this one. It's Keith Urban, John Cougar, John Deere, John 316. That's actually Keith Urban playing that bass line. I guess if you've seen the video, you'll know it's him. So if you probably have heard that song, and if you've seen the video, that's Keith Urban playing it. And that's pretty funky bass line too. Keith Urban's quite the multi-talented artist. He's something else on that guitar, and he can do just as much damage on the bass. So that's another one. Sit down and figure out. It's not too hard, but it's all over there, and it's pretty cool bass line. So that's Keith Urban, John Cougar, John Deere, John 316. Now we're down to number 5. We've got, now this guy, almost every song he has, the bass line is moving and working, and that's Jerry Reed. And this particular song is Amos Moses. That bass line really works, and when you're hot, you're hot. He's got so many of them that the bass is really working in there. It's almost funky. It's almost funky bass lines in these in a lot of his music, and he's just got such a tempo, such an upbeat tempo, that's what makes makes it that's why these bass lines in his particular songs are so needed to push that thing around like that. And that's Jerry Reed. You definitely got to follow his stuff because he's got a bad freaking bass player back there. So that's Jerry Reed. Amos Moses, take that one and tear it down and put it back together, and that'll help you out a lot. So the next one is Eric Church, Smoke a Little Smoke. That's a good song. It's got a good bass line, real good bass line in it. And it's kind of got a funky feel to it as well. It's not a lot. The bass doesn't come in for the first few. I think it's not even until the chorus or so. But it's a good bass line. Definitely a good bass line. A little funky, it's not a straight eighth type feel. It kind of jumps around and moves a little bit. So that's a good one. You want to add that in there as well. Now this song just goes on forever, and it's got a good bass line. It almost gets a little bit of a reggae feel in the middle of it. It's Zac Brown, Who Knows. Now those guys are no joke at all. Those are all musicians there, and they've taken country to another level. And every musician in that band is working and doing their job right there. So that bass line is definitely one to be sit down with and work through, because it's not easy, and it's a long song. It's pretty cool. It's real cool. So that's Zac Brown's Who Knows. And we've got Dixie Chicks. I love these girls. Their voices and everything. Their voices are just phenomenal. And this Hole in My Head, the bass line in there is good too. It's not it's not the Jerry Reed moving around bass lines or nothing like that, but it's just a good solid bass line to learn, and just it's kind of almost a traditional country bass line, but that's what you want to get. You want to get an idea of country and how it works and everything else that works around country, because it's just going to help you out in the long run. And then we've got, now this guy is one of my favorites. Country's Waylon Jennings, and this song I might be a little partial to, but it's Waylon Jennings. So you definitely gotta follow. If you're gonna listen to country, you gotta listen to Waylon Jennings. And Rough and Rowdy Days, the bass line is not too much, but it's a typical country bass line, and it moves around. 1 4 5, the 1 and 5. It works all throughout there. So it's just a good song to listen to and play along with is even better. And so my last one I've got here is going to be these guys. Again, I'm just partial to them. Highwaymen, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, Chris Christopherson. Those guys just put out a lot of good music, just like powerhouses as well to country music. So you can't go wrong. But this particular song is I love it. It's Highwayman. That song is just so cool, and just a good song to listen to. And the bass line it's back in the pocket. It's staying in the pocket. It's doing what it should do, and that's what that's one thing. I'm afraid some of the newer country stuff, they're getting out of that country idea, but it's still country. It's not. I'm not telling you I still like it. I like the bass lines, but it's just not the traditional country where these bass players are just in the pocket, just driving it home. But this particular song, Highwayman, that's what he's doing. He's just driving it home, and it works just great. So definitely check it out. Take that list and work on them and get it going, and get your country playing down. And it's a big calling for it right now as well. So there's a lot of work out there for country, and a lot of people are wanting to hear it. So it's coming back up front and center. So check it out. And if you enjoyed this, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I've got more of these coming out and already out, and appreciate y'all. Look forward to hearing from y'all. Bye.